This is a first in a tutorial on the program Reaper. It's a digital audio workstation that I use primarily for playback in our worship services. We use a lot of click tracks and stems in our worship services, and so Reaper tends to be one of the easiest programs to kind of grasp and get a hold of. Other programs that I've used for playback include Ableton Live. This does a lot of the things that Ableton would do. Um, it might go at it a little different way, but one of the great things that Reaper has is it's very cheap to purchase. You can download it and have a 30-day evaluation that's free. It's not a crippled version. It does everything that the full version does. You can save, you can do all of that. If you decide to keep it after the 30 days, there is a nag screen that's there until you purchase a license. And you can purchase a license for $60 is their discounted license. Their full commercial is $225. But if you look at what the discounted license is for most everyone, the $60 license is going to be sufficient for you unless you are making over $20,000 in your commercial use of that. And if you're educational or nonprofit organization. So if you're using this for your church, the $60 discounted license is going to be sufficient. The version as of March 24th, 2010, they are on version 3.4. Reaper is both Windows and Mac OS X compatible, and you can run this on anywhere from very small machines even to big powerhouse Mac Pros or whatever. I've actually loaded this on a netbook, on other laptops. The current laptop and computer that I'm using this on is a MacBook Pro. It's a 2006 MacBook Pro, 2.16 gigahertz. So I've had great luck with it. I've not had any issues. So if you go to reaper.fm, and that is where you're going to download Reaper, you just go to, when you get there, this is what you're going to see on the home page. So you can see some screenshots that this is a very heavy-duty program that you can use any type of VST plugins that you have. It also uses audio units. You can run a lot of things through this. So these are just some of the sample screenshots. Also on the website you can customize the skins or the themes as they call it. This is for the routing and grouping. So if you use some type of hardware or audio interface, you can route those channels any way that you want. One thing to note is with Reaper you don't need a certain brand of hardware audio interface. It will recognize anything that your computer is going to recognize, Reaper will recognize. I have two different interfaces that I use. One is a M-Audio Firewire 410, and I've had that for a few years, probably about 4 years, and that works great. I also have a Motu Ultralight MK3 Firewire interface, and that timepiece or audio interface is just rock solid. So any of those you can use, and this kind of gives you just an idea. It's unlimited channels, it's 64-bit, and you can do anything that you want with this. You can have tab channels, all of that, and after you download that, you'll see what all you can do with Reaper, and that's why I recommend to everybody to give it a shot. especially if they're new and they don't want to spend a whole lot of money. You go to the download page, and then you just click on that, and you'll notice it's an extremely small download, 7.4 meg for the Mac OS. Most of the time on a digital audio workstation, it's going to be several gig to download because they load it up with a bunch of junk that you're never going to use. For a Windows version, it's 4.4 is the installer on that. So after you go through that, you find it. I've got, as you can see, a bunch of stuff on my computer. This is your installer. You'll just copy those over your applications, and that's how that's going to work for the Mac side of things. After you have it, you just go ahead and launch it. And you'll see how fast that loads up. There's the mixer. Here are some of your tools on the top, and that would be somewhat similar to what you might find in other programs such as Pro Tools, Logic, Digital Performer. I have all of those programs, and really enjoy, just for playback, I really like to use Reaper because, like I said, it doesn't use any memory, and it works very well. So that is what you will go through when you download and install Reaper, and in the next tutorial I will show you kind of how to get started and what kind of things you can do with Reaper, and specifically how I would use it in my day-to-day applications.